Hey there, and welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. Come on in my kitchen. Today I am cooking up a classic pot roast. Very simple, very easy, and so delicious. Let's get started. For my pot roast, I'm using this chuck roast. You definitely want a nice cut of tender meat, and this will cook long and slow, and it'll be nice and tender. So usually a chuck roast is your best cut for cooking pot roast. As you see right now, I am seasoning it liberally, salt, pepper, little garlic powder, putting on the seasonings before I put it in the pan to sear it, which is basically to cook it on both sides before it goes into the oven. We're going to sear in the seasonings to lock in the flavor. So first steps, season that chuck roast on both sides very well. And whatever seasonings you like. I have some salt, pepper, I have a couple different, little bit of Italian seasoning, a couple different seasonings. What I did to one side, I'm going to do to the other. I like this nice fresh cut of meat, which I did pick up at the farmer's market. So it's always fresh there. And it's going to be good. Seasoning first. Next up, I'm going to put a little flour to cover the seasoning before it goes into the hot pan. So just a little bit of flour, and that'll help to thicken the gravy that it cooks in. A little bit of flour on both sides. Moving along, I have my Dutch oven, to which I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm going to just heat this up for about a minute or two before I add in the meat. And I forgot to tell you, this chuck roast is pretty small. I'm doing a 2.5 pound. Most average between 4 to 5 pounds, so they're usually double this size, but I'm doing a smaller cut. It's 2.5 pounds on this chuck roast today. And as you see, I placed it in my Dutch oven. I'm going to let it sear for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, on all sides, until we get that nice brown color. So go ahead and just watch the next couple of steps. And because I floured it on one side, you see right here, I'm just flouring that other side. So when I turn it, it'll go ahead and sear unto the chuck roast. Okay, my searing of the meat is done. Now what's going in the pot with the pot roast? I'm going to add some onions, I'm going to add some leeks, and I'm going to add some fresh garlic. So right here I'm just chopping up a whole onion, just a rough chop, nothing special. All of this is just going to go into the pot to help flavor the meat, flavor the sauce. Cook low and slow. Now with pot roast, some people like to put in some carrots, some potatoes, to which I do add a few carrots at the end. But to start with, I am going to just the basics, the aromatics in the onions, the garlic, and the leeks. So once I cut these up, I'm going to just toss them in the pot. Now this is a leek. This is the first time I've used leeks. They're a milder onion flavor. Oh, they were so delicious. I will continue to use leeks in the future. So I'm just rough chopping my leeks right here. And I used two of the sprigs. Giving those a nice cut. And then I'll add in some garlic. Actually, I might use some garlic, minced garlic that I have in the refrigerator. I'm not sure if I'm going to chop up garlic. We'll see. All right, there's my leeks and onions getting ready. You gotta have all the flavors. If you watch my videos, hopefully you watch. Yep, make sure you go through the channel and check out all my other recipes. But right here, I did remove the chuck roast from the Dutch oven. As you see, I'm adding in another tablespoon of olive oil. And we're going to get all those little flavorful bits off the bottom. But we're adding in the onions and the leeks. And we're just going to go ahead and saute these or cook these for about 3 to 4 minutes until they become soft and emit some of that good aromatic flavor. And this is another step in the process. So right now, let's go ahead and saute those onions and leeks. And then we're going to add in a few more items before this pot roast goes into the oven. And as my onions and leeks are sauteing, this is a great time just to remind you to subscribe. Click that subscribe button, please. Remember to like, remember to share, and I would love it if you leave a comment. Let me know, do you make pot roast? Have you had pot roast? Do you love pot roast? Let me know some of the things that you add into your pot roast or how you cook it. Feel free to leave a comment. I'll definitely answer back. So once I've sauteed my onions and leeks, you see I added in about a tablespoon of tomato paste, and that's just for a little additional flavor. And now I'm adding in about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I just call it the W sauce for short. That's definitely going to add some of that good strong flavor into the meat. And I'm adding in 1 can of beef stock, beef broth, whichever one you have on hand. If you don't have this, you can definitely use some vegetable stock or vegetable broth, but I do prefer the beef. And just 1 can, that's probably about 15 ounces. Now here is the point where those extra seasonings and spices come into play. We definitely got to add in all our wonderful flavors. Starting off with some thyme. I'm using dried thyme, but if you have fresh thyme, definitely go ahead and add some sprigs of fresh thyme in there. You can add some fresh rosemary. These are your fresh herbs. Right now I'm using dry herbs because that's what I had on hand. And I'm just adding some additional salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. I'm adding a little bit of Cajun seasoning into this, not a lot. And these are all the spices, the seasonings that are going to cook into this chuck roast to give that basically to add to the final delicious flavor of the pot roast and the sauce that it goes with it. Now right here I did decide to go with the minced garlic that I had in the refrigerator. Definitely, it's okay to chop up garlic. If I was chopping up fresh garlic, I would use about 2 cloves of fresh garlic, minced very well. But I did about a tablespoon of the garlic I already had in the refrigerator, adding in a little bit of extra pepper. And I did add in Italian seasoning blend. And I happen to have a little bit of the Lipton onion seasoning packet. So I added in about a half a packet of Lipton onion seasoning. But if you don't have it, don't worry. Your pot roast will still turn out delicious. I just happen to have that on hand. And back in the day when I was younger, that's what we would put on our pot roast and cook it in the oven with some potatoes. We would just use those onion packets. All right, everything is in the Dutch oven and needs to be in there except the main ingredient, and that is the pot roast. So it's time to bring the pot roast back into the Dutch oven. Yes, we are. I'm going to sit this big old piece of chuck roast into the pot, and it fits nice snug perfectly. This is my smaller Dutch oven. If it was a 4 or 5 pound chuck roast, you definitely want a larger Dutch oven. And you see how that fit perfectly. Just want to push that down, let some of that stock and everything just go on top. All this is going to cook together, become one, just soak up into nothing but tender, juicy pot roast. Getting ready to go in the oven. The oven is at on 325. I'm cooking this a total of 3.5 hours on 325. Sliding that top on, we are oven ready. As you see, I did cook it just for about 5 minutes. Turn the heat off, and guess what? Let's go on in the oven. And voila, just like that, guess what? My pot roast is ready, y'all. Ooh, I'm excited. Ooh, I'm taking the top. Y'all, look at that. Do you see the steam? Let me show you. I'm going to just let you marinate on this, but ultimately, I want you to see how nice and tender. You see that? The pot roast is. Oh, this is waiting. You can make mashed potatoes, side salad, green vegetable. You can make some rice. And as you see, I did add in a few carrots just so those will cook with my pot roast. But this is so ready to be enjoyed. It's a great Sunday dinner. It's a great meal during the week whenever you feel like having some slow cooked pot roast. And it freezes very well. So if you eat part of it, you can definitely freeze it. I would say for a couple of weeks, bring it back out and eat the rest of it. It's so tender and it's so flavorful that I do hope that you try it out. I hope that you make it and let me know how it turns out. But if you have any questions and comments, leave them in right below in the comment area, and don't forget to subscribe. Come on back. I'll be making all kind of dishes. I'm getting ready for spring, so some of my dishes will be a little bit lighter. But thanks for coming in the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me. Today I showed you how I made delicious, tender pot roast. And I can vouch. I could say it was good. It was very, very good. Thanks for watching the video. Have a blessed day and a blessed week. Until the next time, I see you in the next video. I'll let you go ahead and watch as I'm just basically plating this, getting ready to serve it up, and take a few pictures. Delicious pot roast on deck. See you next time. Bye-bye.